And welcome back to Comic Frontline, everybody. I am the Gonzo Goose back with you for another Convergence review. This is Convergence The Flash, issue number 2 of 2, written by Dan Abnett with art by Federico Dell'Accio. And this issue picks up as the Superman of Earth 9 confronts the Flash, Barry Allen. And he's talking to Barry, saying that he's a higher being, he's of higher intelligence, he's just superior, and that's not a boast, it's a statement. And it's kind of that thing on and on for pages and pages. It's a very dialogue-heavy issue this time around, but he talks about the weird juxtaposition here, the irony of the fact that this is clearly a higher being that has trapped them all here, that has domed them, that can give them superpowers and take them away very easily, yet he wants them to fight in a very primitive way to decide a winner, a moral dilemma that he creates for some unknown reason. And he it doesn't make any sense to him. He doesn't want to fight the Flash, and he knows the Flash doesn't want to fight him. He doesn't want his city to die, but he doesn't want the Flash's city to die either. And if they both forfeit, if they both decide not to fight, then both their cities are destroyed. That seems to be the premise of the whole thing, they say, throughout this whole conversation. And at first, Barry's like, okay, I get what you're saying here, but maybe you're just telling me this. Maybe you're this entity. Maybe you're just telling me you can defeat me if we fight. And let's test that theory. So of course they fight, and he turns out, well, I'm not going to give it away, but let's just say that fight was ill-conceived, and the way it ends, it's very interesting. It's hard to talk about this without spoiling it, but I'm going to try. Basically, one of the parties realizes that if they were to win, then it would cause a lot of problems throughout the multiverse, and so they make a choice. And I'm not going to say what the choice is. I'm not going to say who made it. I think you can probably infer it. But it's very interesting how important one character realizes that they are, and that is still a fact in this new continuity that we have, that because of this character, things had to play out, and so they had to survive. And it's very interesting, the revelations that come out through this, because it tells you, again, we learned recently that DC said definitively that everything pre-New 52 is canon. It was not erased. It does exist, and all this stuff. And we of course know that these Earths exist through the Convergence books. So they're kind of telling fans that this stuff does matter, and I love that they presented that in this issue as well. The art, really nice artwork here. I think the colors were a little bit bland, personally, and no offense to the colors. I wasn't a fan of the palette for this particular issue. Script-wise, it was, like I said, very dialogue-heavy. It needed to be because of the Superman of Earth 9. He is a very intellectual being, so he talked a lot. But it was a lot to get through. I do appreciate that take on this character. I appreciate the information that he brought forth, and it was geared to make you think. It was geared to make you work your mental muscles trying to get through this book. But personally, I enjoyed that journey. I enjoyed the whole take on that. What I didn't quite jive with was the naivety of Barry Allen here. Both first in believing him and then not believing him. It was a weird way for Barry Allen to be thinking, but I love the implications of his future and his his part of this whole tale. And was it the definitive closure that we got in some of the first week books? No, and I kind of like that for this book. And we again get the rumble of the earthquake or whatever that is going on, and so we got to see how that plays out in the main Convergence series as well. So I didn't enjoy this issue quite as much as the first issue of Convergence Flash, but or Convergence The Flash, but it was still a very enjoyable issue for me. I know I could see how this particular issue wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea, but for me personally, I enjoyed it. So I'm gonna give this a 3.5 stars out of 5. Still a solid book, just not quite as good as the first issue, but still overall this series I would have to give it a 4. But for this particular issue, 3.5 stars for Convergence The Flash, number 2 of 2. So that's going to wrap up this review. Check out all the other Convergence reviews and Secret Wars reviews here on Comic Frontline's YouTube channel. Check out comicfrontline.com, comicrelated.com, zone4podcast.com. Together, all your number one source for all your comic news, reviews, podcasts, and so much more. Check out us on the live show to talk about all of the Convergence and Secret Wars books and top 5s and so much more each Tuesday night around 9:30 Eastern Time, p.m. And check out my other channels, Where's My Tell, Zone 4 Podcast. And if you want to know more about what I'm up to as of late, check out lasttimberpress.com. And until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.